All right, we are gonna talk about what happened at the end of my last video.
What was that? What is that? Oh my god.
Oh, hello there.
But this channel is not all space adventures. I am still trying to make music content, and today I wanted to talk about one of the most common things when it comes to making your own music, which is getting out of the loop. So the example I'm gonna use in today's video is my song Liftoff. This is a song with 150,000 Spotify streams in less than 2 months with no playlisting and no promotion. I just say that to let you know that this video is not theoretical. This is what I actually do on my music that I'm proud of and that other people enjoy listening to. So this is a loop I started with. It repeats twice, but the last chord is different the second time. The first time it's minor, the second time it's major. So this chord progression loops for the entire song, 4 minutes straight. That's one of the reasons why I picked this song for this video, because it truly is a loop, and I do a whole lot of things to develop it and keep it interesting, but at the heart of it, it's just that progression over and over. Lots of songs obviously change chord progressions for different sections, so that could be an additional thing that you try to do when you're coming up with new sections for a track, but in this one, I just never ended up feeling like it was necessary. With this basic loop that's just drums and a synth bass and a synth pad, I already knew I had all my foundational elements and I liked them all enough, so I moved right on to structure. I copied and pasted my parts a few times and made it so I had sections with just the drums and bass alternating with parts that also had the synth pad. So just immediately setting up a verse-chorus dynamic. This is one of the biggest keys to getting out of the loop, because for so many of us, especially working on the computer, it's so natural and easy to just keep layering. You can add all kinds of interesting stuff on top of your loop, which makes for a cool loop sometimes, but doesn't actually move you forward into a finished song. So I try to get into structure as early as possible and then come up with my lead part, because that's really what's going to carry the track. If you've already gone really far into loop land though, you could always peel it back and maybe even take some parts of your loop to make one section and then other parts of the loop to make a second section and see if you can get structure out of that. This is me just making stuff up as the basic loop plays. It's kind of embarrassing to share. It's really rough, but this is what I do. Just sing random syllables to try and come up with melodies.
Take my time. Take time. I need to take my time.
Just trying a lot of different things on top of my loop while recording, and then later picking out the things that I like the best and trying to arrange them into my structure. And after all this, I still didn't have anything I was happy with for my verses, so I actually sent this rough demo you've been hearing to my friend Dana Jean Phoenix, and she helped me with some verse melody ideas, as well as we wrote the lyrics together for the song at this stage. Huge shout out to Dana. But yeah, I shared this with her in the early embarrassing stages because I knew I could do whatever I wanted with the production, but the song wouldn't be strong until the writing was strong. So Dana came up with a melody that sounded like this.
Symphony of starlight, the moon has come alive, charted constellations call on me to find.
And I really love that, but I just tweaked it a bit to give the melody a wider range to create even more interest.
Symphony of starlight, the moon has come alive, uncharted constellations call on me to find.
So at this point, we had the big pieces of the song. We had the foundational elements and we had the main melodies for different sections of it. And this is when I dove into producing. This part of the process was also a collaboration. I went back and forth with Pusher a couple times to develop the song, basically just thinking about 3 questions. How do we create dynamics, high energy parts and low energy parts? How do we create transitions, so moving between those high and low energy parts in a satisfying way? And how do we support the lead? How do we add things to elevate it and accentuate it, but also where do we need to get out of its way? So we added tons of different stuff, but it all fits into a few categories. We ended up with 5 different bass synths on this song. They're playing this looped progression the whole way through, but to create dynamics, we have different ones come in at different times, and sometimes they're layered. We fleshed out the drums with some extra cymbals to add air during the choruses, and then of course, we threw in a whole bunch of big 80s tom fills. There are some different chord layers that come in at different times, but I think the most interesting harmonic support comes in the form of arpeggios. These are sort of halfway between chord and melody. Basically, they are a broken chord, but they support the lead in a more interesting way than just holding down a chord, but they're still repetitive and in the background, so they still stay out of the way. A lead part doesn't usually go constantly throughout the whole song, so in the spaces it leaves, you often want to add a little something else to maintain the interest. And this could be anything. It has to be fine-tuned to support the song, of course, but it could be a drum fill, it could be extra vocals, it could be a sound effect, it could be a melody playing on a different instrument. These are the things that elevate a song from being solid to being magical. So some examples from Lift Off, there's this space in the chorus where I'm not singing, and that's where this little climbing melody comes in. Pusher also did this simple but genius thing where he took the main notes from my chorus melody and played them on different synths during the intro and in the background of the verses. There are the usual swells and impacts. I also played this synth solo at the end. And that was a decision I made after hearing the production more fleshed out and realizing that it would just be good to keep the energy higher for longer. So structure doesn't have to be set in stone at the writing stage, but it's good to have your bigger pieces in place and then work through that to get to the finer stuff. I also think this is why a lot of people have trouble finishing tracks, because as you get more and more into the details, stuff gets less creative and more technical, less fun and more work. You know, you get into stuff like choosing takes, editing breaths, mixing. The final stage of creating any piece of recorded music is all this finicky stuff of trying to get it as close to perfect as possible. My process with this is to render the song and then listen to it away from the studio, you know, put it on your phone, listen in headphones, listen in your vehicle. And as you're listening, make notes of anything you hear that could be improved. Anything, big or small, and then you take that list back to your project and you do a session where you just work through and try to address each of those things. Then you bounce that, listen away from the studio, make a new list. And I'll probably do this about 3 to 5 times to get a track to where I'm happy with it, because as you take care of certain things, finer and finer details show up. But also, usually each time the list gets shorter and the tasks get easier. I think the hardest point in finishing any song is when you're at the 80% mark and need to make that first list. It's when you're deciding, no more messing around, I'm finishing this and I'm gonna put in writing and commit to doing each of these things that need to happen to get it done.
The News at 5 in Space with Andrew Huang.
Hi, I'm Andrew Huang, and I'm here today with a crystal alien from another dimension who can talk. Can you tell me your name again, please?
My name is...
Is that right?
No. No need to concern yourself. Perhaps you should endow me with a name that would be more suitable for a human tongue.
Okay, that's a lot of pressure. Naming an alien, naming another being. Berkeley, Charleston, Jessica, Petunia. How about Horace? I name you Horace.
Wonderful. I am Horace, and you are Andrew.
That's me. And now, tell me, you're speaking perfect English. How did this come about if you're from another dimension?
My kind have observed humans since long before there was such a thing as English. We've made efforts to keep up with your language and traditions.
Okay, super creepy. And where is home for you exactly?
I am from the galaxy. You have probably heard of it.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Indeed. My people have gone to great lengths to protect them.
What are they?
Pieces of my world.
Whoa, that's cool. So, what are they for? Like, do they do anything cool, like shoot laser beams or time travel?
I don't understand.
Well, do they come out of here? Oh my god! What just happened?
I'm afraid I can't let you touch them.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I won't touch them.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. I've decided you are very slow and easy to overpower.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Oh.
Andrew, we must complete the mission objective.
Sorry, this is my computer calling me.
Have you obtained the crystals?
Not exactly.
It is important that we
I know.
prioritize the
Listen,
mission.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
Are you in distress?
Listen, Horace,
Yes.
I'm gonna go before my oxygen runs out. This has been really great. Thank you for showing me these crystals. Can I meet you back here in like 24 hours?
I do not understand hours, but I will be by these crystals for the entirety of my future existence.
Yeah, that should work.